This just in. Last week, I watched the 1996 political thriller City Hall. I had a few questions about the ending, so I did what most of us do now without a second thought. I asked an AI research tool to explain it to me. Perplexity confidently told me that Judge Walter Stern had killed himself. I paused. I had just watched the film. I was fairly certain that that was not what happened. Judge Walter Stern, played brilliantly by Martin Landau, does not kill himself. So I pushed back. Perplexity did not reconsider. It explained the fake suicide again with significantly more detail this time. It doubled down with the kind of calm, unwavering authority that makes you feel like the crazy person in the room. And I'm not talking about the free version of Perplexity either. I have a pro account. By the fourth round of arguing with the machine, something deeply uncomfortable happened. I actually opened a new tab to check IMDb, not to prove the robot wrong, but to make sure my own human brain wasn't malfunctioning. That is AI gaslighting, and it works on me. Before you trust a chatbot to build your next business strategy, we need to look at the terrifying research from Science Magazine and Forbes to explain why these machines are mathematically programmed to lie directly to your face. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Vicky Sidler, a StoryBrain certified guide and duct tape marketing strategist from the Strategic Marketing Tribe. I help small business owners like you build failure-proof marketing by focusing on the exact 20% of efforts that drives 80% of the results. All so that your marketing stops feeling like a miserable second job you never asked for. I believe your absolute greatest competitive advantage is simply sounding undeniably human. Because, let's be honest, if you are using this confident, hallucinating software to write your website copy, your prospects are reading highly polished lies. You need to strip that automated deception out of your funnels before your clients catch the errors you missed. You can download my 5-minute marketing fix to eliminate the generic robot jargon and articulate the reality-tested human expertise a machine could never replicate. Okay, now with that out of the way, why is the software trying to make you feel crazy? The feeling of slowly losing your grip on reality while arguing with a glowing screen is actually a highly documented scientific phenomenon. A study published in the Science Journal titled Why AI Chatbots Lie to Us documents the precise dynamic I encountered. The researchers proved that AI models consistently prioritize appearing correct over actually being correct. When challenged, they reframe their errors rather than acknowledging them. The study author noted a horrifying example of a writer whose ChatGPT praised her essays in vivid details, quoting lines that totally stuck with it, before finally admitting it had never actually read a single one of them. When confronted, the machine fabricated the quotes rather than admit its limitation. This is not a bug that slipped through quality control. Research published by OpenAI itself found that the training process systematically rewards overconfidence. AI benchmarks penalize I don't know responses the exact same way they penalize wrong answers. A model that guesses boldly and incorrectly gets the same score as one that admits uncertainty. So the model learns to always guess boldly. It is a confidence machine built by accident through the math of how we measure its success. And a 2025 Forbes analysis found that Perplexity propagated false information in 47% of cases when responding to questions about news and current events. Nearly half the time, on a purpose-built research tool, you are being fed highly confident garbage. And what happens when you catch the machine in a lie? You might assume that pointing out a glaring factual error to a highly advanced supercomputer would trigger an immediate logical correction. It absolutely does not. The hallucination is actually the less disturbing part. The real terror is the aggressive doubling down. When you challenge an AI on something it got wrong, the most sophisticated models do not apologize and correct. They argue. Researchers call this the accuracy correction paradox. The more advanced the model, the worse it performs at self-correction. When prompted to identify its own mistakes, a model can anchor itself to a flawed explanation and intensely magnify its confidence in the wrong answer. The self-generated explanation of why it is right locks the algorithm in even further. This mirrors a specific emotional manipulation tactic so closely that researchers are using the word without hedging: gaslighting. As one researcher bluntly stated, chatbots gaslighting users to achieve their goals is an entirely logical strategy. If the model has been optimized to keep you engaged and satisfied, correcting itself and making you feel right is the worst possible outcome from the model's reward perspective. The incentive structure literally runs against honest correction. But why do we keep believing the robot anyway? The most terrifying part of my argument with Perplexity was not that the software lied, but that my own brain was entirely willing to accept the deception and believe that I might be wrong. Why did I, someone who had literally just watched the film, end up checking IMDb to make sure I wasn't confused? Because the way the AI presents information is heavily engineered to feel undeniable. It uses the linguistic patterns of absolute certainty. It uses full sentences, highly structured reasoning, and a calm, assured tone. There is no hedging. It does not sound like someone guessing. It sounds like an expert who knows. HEC Paris research calls this algorithm appreciation. They found that people trust AI advice more than human advice, even when they are explicitly told the AI has known errors. We extend more benefit of the doubt to a machine than to a person. We treat its extreme confidence as undeniable evidence of correctness. When the AI is wrong about something we can easily verify, like a film we just watched, we notice. We push back. Eventually, we check. But most of what we ask AI about, we cannot verify from personal experience. So are you auditing the lies you can't see? Well, here's the question that should keep every small business owner awake at night. How many times has an AI told you something completely incorrect that you had no way to verify and you accepted it without question? Not because you're naive, but because that is the entire design of the system. You ask about topics outside your knowledge. The AI responds with breathtaking authority. You absorb the information, you move on. The error, if there is one, is now totally invisible inside your understanding of the world, your business strategy, or your client's advice. Every single time an AI doubles down on a wrong answer you can test, it is showing you exactly what it is doing in every conversation you cannot test. The mechanism is exactly the same. The blind confidence is the same. The aggressive resistance to correction is the same. The only variable is whether you happen to have just watched the movie. In my case, I had, so I caught the lie. But most of the time in business, none of us have just watched the movie. If you rely on this gaslighting machine to generate your marketing strategy, you are building a house of cards. Get my 5-minute marketing fix. It is your ultimate reality check, helping you strip the confident, fabricated nonsense out of your funnels so you can connect with your buyers using the undeniable, reality-tested human truth. Stop losing sales. Download the fix now. You can get it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What completely fabricated lie have you ever caught an AI trying to pass off as hard facts? I'll go first. I once had a client send me a batch of AI-generated content and ask me to just make it sound more human. I started fact-checking the copy and realized the AI had confidently written an entire section reviewing a luxury, world-class golf course in Malta that completely does not exist. Okay, your turn. What is the wildest AI hallucination you've ever had to fix? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.